more money as a woman in leadership? In this video, I'm going to share with you salary negotiation secrets for women leaders that you will absolutely want to watch this video until the very end. And you may even want to subscribe to the channel, because depending on how this conversation goes, I may not be able to share secrets in this video. I'll have to share them in another video. But if you have ever struggled with salary negotiations or feel very intimidated by this topic, and you've always wondered, well, how can I negotiate a higher salary? Stay with me just a few moments so I can share with you secrets that people don't really talk about, because you're going to learn in just a short amount of time, over 20 years of experience, from someone that's been a C-suite executive, a director, and a manager. I've done hundreds of salary negotiations. I've negotiated my own salary over the years, and you're going to learn some valuable insights that will help you on your journey. Now, if you are new to me, this is a live video, and welcome. I'm glad that you're here. If you're watching this portion of the video, you are more than likely watching the replay. So thank you for being here today. This is a live video. So typically YouTube, what happens is that there's a point in time where people join. So give me just a few moments to say hello to those individuals who are joining live. And then we're going to go right into salary negotiation secrets that will help you as a woman leader. Now, women leadership is something that is very passionate to me. So in my one-on-one executive coaching practice, I specifically work with women in leadership to help them really communicate confidently under pressure and navigate those very high stakes, high pressure situations. However, on my YouTube channel, I have women in leadership that are subscribed to my channel, and I have men in leadership that are subscribed to my channel also. So I welcome everyone, regardless of gender, who you are. And I also want to let you know that the information I share here are specific strategies, techniques that will help you to communicate at a higher level than your peers and make you stand out as a leader from everybody else. If you want to be that person that inspires other people or motivates them, or you have a big mission and you know you want to make a big impact, but you're just not sure how you want to communicate it, then this is a place for you, regardless of whether you are a woman in leadership or a man in leadership. You will learn a lot of information here, and I appreciate you being present. Now, salary negotiations are challenging, right? What I want to know from you before we get started is, when have you had a salary negotiation to go really well? And when have you had a salary negotiation to not go as well? Let me know in the comments below. Welcome everybody that is joined today. I appreciate you being here. And if you really are truly struggling or have struggled ever with negotiating your salary, I'm going to share with you some secrets today, friends. Some secrets that you are learning from, I would say, the C-suite and the direct role. I've been in senior leadership for over 20 years now, and I'm going to share with you what I've learned over the past 20 years to help you do better with your salary negotiation, and share with you some secrets that people don't necessarily talk about here on YouTube. Now, salary negotiation, as I mentioned, is really important. And the reason why salary negotiations are so important is that people really, truly don't understand how, if you do not negotiate your salary, or let's say you're transitioning into another role, and you miss your salary negotiation opportunity, excuse me, you will be stuck at that salary in your career for whatever that specified time period is until you make that transition. So negotiating your salary is extremely, extremely important to be able to do. I have seen situations where people have went into salary negotiations, they've negotiated their salary, and then they find themselves feeling very, very frustrated and upset in terms of why their salary is not increased or higher than what they'd like for it to be. And it's just, it will cap you in terms of your income financially. So you just don't want to put yourself in that situation. If you are watching this video or subscribe to my channel, you know that I want to make sure that you are making the most that you can, because I know you probably have a bigger mission that you're trying to do in this world. So let's talk about some secrets, okay? Let's talk about some secrets as it relates to salary negotiations to help you be able to go to that next level when you are negotiating your salary. So the first secret that people don't really think about, and I'm sharing with you over 20 years worth of expertise as it relates to salary negotiations, is that your salary negotiation actually starts with the interview. It starts specifically with the interview. And people fail to realize that your interview, excuse me, I'm sorry, I've been a little under the weather the past month or so, but your ability to set the tone in your interview, believe it or not, helps you tremendously as it relates to how you negotiate your salary. If you come into your interview and are a bit more lax in your communication and etc., then what happens is it makes it very, very difficult for the hiring manager or your recruiter that you're speaking with to take you seriously, I would say, so that you can really go to that next level. So before I go into more as to why this is so important, let me say hello to who's in the chat. So we have Camilo Compien, I believe. Compien, hopefully, says, hello, welcome, amiga. Okay, so saludos, amiga. Excuse me, Desde USA. Yes. Well, welcome, friend. Glad you're here today. Let me know if you have ever struggled in negotiating your salary. If you have, then this is definitely the video you want to watch today. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. I talk about a lot of ways in terms of how you can communicate at a higher level than your peers, specifically here on this channel. So appreciate you being here, friend, and let me know where you're joining from in the big, beautiful world today. So, as I mentioned, the interview really sets the tone for your salary negotiations. You have to come into the interview presenting yourself as an executive, as a leader. Excuse me again. If you do not feel like they need to work with you in terms of negotiating your salary, and it all depends on how you present yourself in the interview. So this is extremely important for you to be able to do. You really have to present yourself as the candidate of choice, as the best person for the position that you are applying for, because if you do not do that, it will hurt you in your salary negotiations. Many of the clients that I work with in a one-on-one setting tell me that, oh, I have an interview coming up, just an interview, right? It's just an interview. I'm not worried about it. And I tell them the interview is actually very serious. It is a very important time for you to set the tone for your salary negotiation. So if there's anything that you receive out of this video, any of the secrets I'm sharing with you, and I'm going to share with you as many as I can while I'm in my drive. And for those of you who are watching, if I'm not able to share as many secrets as I'd like to during this morning drive, join me this afternoon or this evening on my channel when I typically go live, and you'll learn a lot more. But if there's anything you get, understand that how you interview truly makes an impact on your salary negotiations. Please remember that. Salary negotiations and interviews are not separate. You think they are, but they actually are linked. And this is from my over 20 years of experience dealing with salary negotiation myself. Now, the second secret I want to share with you all today as it relates to salary negotiations that people don't really talk about that much on YouTube is that your salary negotiation process, we talked about why it's important, right? We talked about your interview sets up the tone. But having an executive presence actually can help you tremendously when you are in a salary negotiation. You may be wondering, well, how is that really important to me as a woman in leadership or as a leader? Because when you are in those leadership roles, you typically are making a higher salary than, let's say, your direct reports. I mean, you should make a higher salary than your direct reports. If I don't get to talk to you about it today during this live, I will share with you this afternoon how I was in a situation where I was at a higher level and my boss at the time was going to put me at the same salary as my direct reports. It's ridiculous, but it depends. I want to go through secrets today, and I can tell you a bit more about me and what happened to me later this afternoon. But before I go into why your executive presence is so important in salary negotiations, let me say hello to Ari. Hello, welcome, friend. How you doing today? Excuse me. Let me know where y'all are joining from, and if you've ever had any challenges as it relates to salary negotiations, this is your opportunity, because I know many of you are trying to generate more income as leaders, but this is your opportunity to ask me anything as it relates to salary negotiations. Historically, for me personally, I've been very aggressive with my salary negotiations, and I've been able to always do very well with them. And I want to help you, even if we're not working in a one-on-one setting. Maybe you're not a woman in leadership that's in my direct target audience in terms of who I provide one-on-one executive coaching services to or consulting to. It's okay. Learn as much as you can from me. I'm just glad that you're here, and I know if you're watching this video, you are at that next level of leadership and you're trying to elevate yourselves, and I just want to be a part of your journey. Okay, now, as I mentioned, executive presence is extremely important as it relates to salary negotiations. So I have a lot of videos here on my channel that talk specifically about salary negotiations, and one of the videos that you can watch where I go into a bit more detail about salary negotiation in terms of the technical aspect of it. That is a video. It's called Negotiate Your Salary Like a Boss. It's on my pre-recorded videos, not on my live tab, but on my pre-recorded videos. It's got a green thumbnail with it. So you definitely want to check that out, because today I'm not going into those specifics directly. Today I'm just sharing with you secrets. So you definitely want to check that video out. I also have a salary negotiation masterclass that is on my website that you're welcome to purchase, that goes into even more detail that you can learn as it relates to how to negotiate your salaries. It is on www.exciteexcellence.org, and this is something it's listed under products and services. So that's the opportunity for you to learn even more about salary negotiation that will help you on your journey. So I want to say thank you for the heart emojis. I appreciate them. We have someone else that has joined. Let me see how I can say your name, and if I say it incorrectly, let's see. I'm driving, so I'm sorry. It's a little harder. So, Fuengirola, I believe. If I said it incorrectly, I'm sorry. I'm driving and the phone is not directly like right in front of my face. But welcome, friend. Glad you're here today. Let's see. Okay, let me see. I'm stopped. So Fuengirola. Okay. All right. Awesome. I think I got it right. So Fuengirola says, "Hey, girl. Hello and welcome. Glad you're here today. High five back to you also." Fuengirola says, "Can you wish my younger brother a happy birthday? His name is Dixon Mayez. He's turning 13. Well, happy birthday, Dixon Mayez. I hope he has a wonderful day. 13 is a very special year, and I hope he has a very blessed and wonderful birthday." All right. So, as I mentioned, your executive presence is something that is critically important in an interview. I have several videos that talk about salary negotiation, as I mentioned a moment ago. I have several videos on my channel about executive presence. So if you really are if you really are ready, if you're really ready, or one of my potential clients that are really serious about making some moves, you definitely want to check out my videos here. I have a lot of great content on executive presence, and that is something you need to interview. So why is this important in salary negotiation? Majority of people have a hard time mastering their executive presence. And I want to share with you, there's a lot of information out there, and I completely understand why people struggle with this. There's so much information about executive presence. Some of it talks about executive presence in more of a formula format. Some of it talks about executive presence in the form of a very long definition. And some of it talks about executive presence in the form of theories and hypotheses. Well, on this channel, I actually talk about real strategies and real techniques and real situations that actually happen. So I share more of a real world perspective, not the academic sense of what executive presence is, because I've actually lived it, I've developed it, I've experienced it, I've been in those very friendly, I've been in very contentious conversations, and I've had to use an executive presence consistently, and I'm pretty good at it. So I would say that there's a lot to confuse you, but why is executive presence especially important in salary negotiations for you as a leader? Because most of the time people struggle with it. So if you can showcase your executive presence, then this is something that will make you stand out from other candidates when you're trying to negotiate your salary. So more specifically, what are some pillars of executive presence? I say, in my very humble definition, is executive presence is your ability to inspire and influence other people as a leader. That's my very simple definition of it. So when you think about that, when you're having those communications and those conversations as it relates to your salary, you want to position yourself as the person who is an executive. Executives are the individuals who communicate in a very concise way, but are able to still have that draw to them. They have a bit of charisma that makes the individual they're speaking with feel like, wow, this person is a really great fit, and I really like how they communicate, and I think they may be, they may be worth the money that they're asking for. So having an executive presence is really important as you're negotiating your salary. Now, my third secret that I want to share with you, before I go into the third secret, let me look into the chat. Anna Darko, hello Anna Darko, welcome friend, how you doing today? Anna Darko says, wishing you a peaceful and prosperous day. Well, Anna, that is very, very kind of you. I appreciate you. And if you have any questions, or maybe you've had any problems negotiating salaries, or anything related to being able to communicate at a higher level as a woman in leadership, then this is the place for you to be, Anna Darko. I'm glad you're here today. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you're joining from. And if you like this content so far, then feel free to subscribe to the channel. And I'm wishing you a very peaceful and prosperous day as well, Anna Darko. Now, my third secret I want to share with you as it relates to salary negotiations is something that you have to understand. And I know this is a hard one, so bear with me, okay? Bear with me. This is hard to hear. But what you have on your resume is not going to directly help you in a salary negotiation. Now, you may be saying, well, that sounds like nonsense, right? I have all these credentials. I have all these credentials. Yes. So let me explain. Your credentials and your accomplishments are very important. They are very important. However, if you solely depend on what's on your resume and think the hiring manager is just going to read your resume and say, oh, automatically, oh my gosh, we got to pay her $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 for her salary, I want you to know that that's probably not going to happen. And this is from my over 20 years of expertise. I have been in salary negotiations. I've been a senior leadership I've been a C-suite, a director, a manager for over 20 years, and I manage hundreds of employees. I've done hundreds of salary negotiations. And I just want you to know that you can spend money on your resume to get it where it needs to be. And I have no issues with that. You definitely want to invest in yourself. You need to get help when you know you need help, okay? Sometimes we wait a little bit longer than what we need to when we know we need help. But I just want to tell you that your salary negotiation is not going to come from your actual resume alone. It's not. What will help you tremendously in your salary negotiation is what I talk about here on my channel every single day, and that is being able to communicate at a higher level than your peers. I say on my channel, if you're new to me, people become great by how they communicate. And my role here, my mission on this earth is to unlock the greatness within you to help you communicate at that higher level. So how you communicate is how you get a higher salary. I have seen so many individuals struggle with this. And for me personally, salary negotiations is something that I'm so incredibly passionate about salary negotiations. It is ridiculous. And the reason why I'm so passionate about salary negotiations and why I tend to be more aggressive with them is because I have been in situations where my salary has been challenged. And it may be something I talk a bit more about this afternoon when I go live this evening in terms of story, in terms of what happened to me specifically. But I just want you all to know that what you do to negotiate your salary right now is important. It will set you up for success. It will set you up for failure, depending on what you negotiate as your salary. If you are just starting in your career, or maybe you're transitioning into a new leadership role, if you happen to not be able to negotiate your salary to the level where you want it to be at, you end up being literally stuck at a salary cap, that glass ceiling, as we hear a lot in the corporate world. And that glass ceiling isn't only just in terms of growth, it's in terms of revenue too, and salary. And if you don't negotiate your salary now, you will be stuck at that role where you are. And you just don't want to be stuck there, because then you look back on your life 10 years later and say, you know what, I should be at a higher salary than what I am right now. But I'm not. And why is that? There probably is a time in your career where you did not aggressively negotiate your salary, not you, as you needed to. Now, when I say aggressive as it means a salary negotiation, let me clarify. I don't mean aggressive in terms of you say into a salary negotiation. This is what I want to make, and if you don't give it to me, then I'm not going to accept this offer. No, I don't communicate that way. I don't communicate in an aggressive way. I don't believe in doing that. I just don't. So that's not what I'm referring to. But I mean aggressive. I mean you have to value yourself more than anybody else. Now, I will tell you that regardless of what job you're working at, and this is definitely a truth I want to share with you. And the secret also, you will never be paid what you are truly worth if you're working for someone. This could go into a whole nother conversation, a whole nother topic, but this is another secret I want to share with you, which is, I didn't intend on sharing this one, but I wanted to share this secret with you. You will never be paid what you are worth when you're working for somebody else. However, you can still negotiate your salary to get as close as you can to whatever that number is that you value yourself at. You can absolutely do this. And knowing this in mind, you have to negotiate higher. You have to be a bit more aggressive. And sometimes what I found that happens with my clients that I work with in a one-on-one basis, especially the women clients I work with, we are sometimes afraid of what to say as it relates to our salary negotiations. We don't know what to say, we don't know how to say it, and we just don't know the overall structure. And so in those type of situations, definitely reach out to me for a one-on-one strategy session. The link is in the description below. We can have a conversation about where you are, where you want to be, and I can give you some strategies in terms of how to get there. And if we need to work together on a one-on-one basis, we can. But just know that as women, sometimes we just don't know what to say. We don't know what to say as it relates to our salary negotiation. We don't know what to do as it relates to our salary negotiation. We just simply don't know. And another part of that too is that sometimes as women in leadership, we are not comfortable saying the big numbers. So I've worked with clients that are at a point in their career where they're trying to make $200,000 as women leaders. Some of them are making $280,000, $300,000, $350,000 a year at a job. And sometimes we know that we want to be at that level, but what happens is we're just afraid to say the number. So I encourage you today, this is from an executive coaching standpoint. What is that number? What is that salary that you believe that you should be at? And I want you to start practicing saying that salary. Sometimes you just need to say it. You just need to say what the salary is. For example, if you're trying to make $280,000 a year and you feel like, oh, is that too much money? Is that too much money to ask? Then what you can do is practice saying $280,000 a year. Practice saying it. Start to get it into your daily communications, how you are thinking that $280,000, if that's what you're trying to make, then this is something you want to basically have in your mind that is very easy for you to say. So when you're in your salary negotiations and you're going back and forth, you know how to do it. Now, if you want some more customized support in terms of how to negotiate, this is what you reach out to me for. Sign up for a strategy session in the link below. Be happy to help you as it relates to this. And there's, as I mentioned earlier, I have a lot of resources to help you. I have a lot of resources to help you as it relates to salary negotiation. Check out my YouTube channel. I have some live videos in the pre-recorded video I told you about earlier about salary negotiation like a boss, or how to negotiate your salary like a boss. And then I also have my masterclass as it relates to salary negotiation as well. So that's on my website at exciteexcellence.org and the products and services. So there's a lot of different things you can think about as it relates to salary negotiations. And these are secrets that I'm just sharing with you off the top of my head that I wanted to make sure that you all have access to and know about. Let's see. Another secret that I want to share with you is, as it relates to salary negotiation, will be specifically as it relates to your communication. mostly your nonverbal communication. Now, this is a secret. This is a master secret I'm sharing with you. How you're able to maintain eye contact, if it's verbally, or not verbally, but if it's in person or perhaps virtually. Your ability to maintain eye contact, your ability to be very comfortable with silence, are two very powerful nonverbal gestures, I would say, that you need to master as it relates to salary negotiation. Now, as I mentioned, these are secrets. These are secrets that people don't really talk about, specifically on YouTube. But these are secrets that will actually help you go to that next level and negotiate a higher salary. There's a couple of videos I have on my channel that talk about this. Take a look at any of my live videos. That's where most of my action is for the time being. Take a look at my live videos, because there is several videos that talk about eye contact, and specifically in eye contact, when I'm talking about it, it is directly related to the cowboy. Now, I talk about the cowboy quite a bit. You know about the cowboy. So just keep in mind, if you look at my eye contact videos, I'm talking more about the cowboy, more than likely. So just keep that in mind. You definitely want to check that out. I have a lot of videos about eye contact, silence, and etc. So just watch my live videos. But just know that this is a secret. This is something that is a skill that you want to master if you want to do well in your salary negotiations. Now, let me know which of these secrets was your favorite. Which one was your favorite secret that you liked? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any topics specifically around salary negotiation, maybe you want to learn a little bit more about, let me know today, because this evening, I'm going to go live also. And I'll probably share a bit more about my stories in terms of what happened to me specifically as it relates to negotiating a higher salary, and why I'm so aggressive about salary negotiations right now. I want to help you, and sometimes the best way for you to learn is learn from other people's mistakes. I have no problem sharing with you the mistakes that I made as it relates to salary negotiation in my career, and how I was able to overcome them and negotiate higher salaries consistently every time when I transition into a new role. So I hope this information has been very helpful to you. Sorry, the sun is very bright here, but let me know if you have any questions, especially as a leader, a woman in leadership, or if you're a man in leadership watching this also. Let me know if you have any questions specifically as it relates to just how you to communicate. Maybe there's a challenging situation you're dealing with. Maybe you have a difficult conversation you're about to face. That is my expertise. I deal with the hard situations. So just reach out to me. Let me know. I'm here to support you any way that I can on your journey. And I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.